We play and call it work.
MiniWarGaming Dave here from MiniWarGaming.com. Welcome Wargamers to Ask the Wargamer, a series of videos where I look at the comments that you leave and the eagle-eye view of MiniWarGaming can see, and I can scrutinize the comments accordingly. Kind of like this comment right here. Shooter McGavin. Why is it that GW consistently undermines the character and aspects of Space Marines? And why does GW want so badly to turn the Knights of 40k into StarCraft Marines? Before I answer your question, today's topic will be about the new Saga of the Beast, Psychic Awakening, the new Space Wolves. I'm not going to go into the Orcs so much, maybe a little bit if you guys talk about it. But to answer your question, StarCraft, created by Blizzard, created by Space Wolves, because Space Wolves want it, and you don't get it because apparently you're not getting what you want. And for me to tell you why they undermine the character creation of their models would be to tell you why they're not coming out with the new Khorne Daemonkin Codex, because that's what I really want. And to this we add, Aaron Johnson. How evil does a company have to be to kill off a man's dogos? Oh, the dogos must die! But in all seriousness, I have a golden doodle, I have a puppy, she's my flesh hound. Sarko17. Why is it only Primaris and not real Space Wolves? Let me think about this for a second. Why is it that they only focus on the new Primaris when it comes to new chapters? At the end of the day, they are a company that needs to make money. So it makes sense because Primaris sells like crazy, and Primaris demolishes on the battlefield. Alexander Rapan. I'm not really happy with the box set. Paying over 120 USD for basically Ragnar and some generic Primaris Marines that could be painted as Ultramarines just as easily. I get that I could split it with an Orc player, but I'm still paying for one model that I need and 10 I don't. I think I just might make a proxy of Ragnar. Having seen the model, it is actually pretty ridiculously cool. I must say, compared to the old model, it's leagues better. That being said, I understand the point of not wanting to spend the money for everything else that's in the box that you don't necessarily want in order to get that one model. Sometimes it's in these dire situations that creativity is spawned. If you create a Ragnar model, I want to see it because I think it'll look cool. Spoken from a guy who also doesn't like to spend money, I can certainly appreciate you not wanting to spend 120 USD, and in Canadian dollars, it's like $1,000. I'm just kidding, it's not quite that much. It's like 888 bucks, which in that case I would spend it because Khorne would want me to. MetMob02. Why is it that I have to pay for about 30 models when all I need is the one Ragnar model? Then the Marines in it aren't even useful for any scenario my army might encounter. I could have sworn this is like the same exact question I just got. I suppose you're talking about the box set proper, not necessarily the new Saga of the Beast book that is coming out right now, and that you can look at all the other stuff that pertains to your Space Wolves, including all the new stratagems and all the new abilities and everything like that. There is one very easy solution to this. Grab a dice, and on a 4+, get the box. Ironically, it's actually the solution to a lot of life's problems. GreyFox251. When can we expect some other proper melee Primaris? I can't tell you when we expect these things. All I can tell you is that sometimes when Chaos stuff comes out, I get really excited. And I get secondary excited when Blood Angel or Space Wolf stuff come out. Kind of like right now. Now I could tell you my hopes and dreams about the future, but in all honesty, I don't think the world is ready for it. Roman Gag. What do the Space Wolves lack that the Psychic Awakening is going to give them? You know, that's actually a very interesting question, because the answer to your question is everything that the Psychic Awakening book gives them is everything that they lack, because they currently don't have it. I'm looking at this book right now, and all the new stuff that pertains to the Space Wolves, it's all new to them. That's what they have, and that's what they lack because they don't have it yet, but now they have it because of the new book. Wow, that question is really confusing. Knowledge of the foe. That's something they lack, but no longer lack. The Posse Patrol. When do you think we will be able to buy Ragnar as a standalone product? My guess is when they sell out of all the Prophecy of the Wolf box sets. Webinator. Why am I so disappointed? Because you opened up your Christmas gift and you had a Tau model inside. That's why. But in reality, my guess is that because, as a Space Wolves player, you want some good close combat goodness. Because that's really a lot of Space Wolves. You just want to sink your claws and sink your teeth into something that you can really chew on for a long time, and you don't feel like you're getting that right now. Bob Bobson. What are his thoughts on removing the uniqueness of SW? And would you like to embrace more Viking-sounding units like Hearthcarls and some Primaris? First off, I think you're talking about me to me in the third person, so I'm gonna pretend like that's the case. Second, I don't like the idea of removing the uniqueness of Space Wolves. I think they need to remain unique, and they need to be given the proper tools of battle. And when I say proper tools, I mean all the tools. All the war gear, all the special abilities, all the upgrades, all the tactics, all the. Nick Surname, are there any increases in mobility for us? I would say there's an indirect increase in mobility. Kind of like a Rune Priest in Phobos armor, which now has the Concealed Position special ability. Richard Nebors. I guess I'm wondering if there's enough reason to buy them over any other Space Marine box. Do the dogs still have some flavor? To be absolutely honest here, and we all know this already, they're going in the Primaris direction. So unless you're considering them still having flavor going in that direction, then I guess they don't. Now if this is actually something that you're looking forward to, then flesh out your army and go as far as you want, putting as many Primaris Marines into your Space Wolves army as can fit. As for their flavor, it's the flavor that was there before. You still have your other units that you had access to, but it's nothing new. If you want to talk flavoring, they do have access to new litanies. And to add to the flavoring, there are new relics of the Fang. There's 10 unique ones that you're going to get as well. So that isn't something you can ignore because it's something that wasn't there before. Thomas Bojanowski. Do you think with all the new stratagems we are getting, will we have a way of getting to the Assault Doctor in before the third turn? No, the answer's no. There's no way around that. I can't sugarcoat that. Here's a big box of no. Ethan Blevins. Where's my old Space Wolves box? It was like 10 Space Wolves. I remember. Go downstairs, check the cover that you tried to sell last year at the yard sale, but couldn't because I had too much fur in it due to the Space Wolves that you store in them. Justin John. Honestly, I'm only getting Gaskell. And by that comment, I am assuming that you are going to literally take out Gaskell and just give everything back to the universe and that we will take it because we react funny to plastic crack. Christopher Nukem. So do you think with everything coming out with Ragnar and Gaskell, that Ragnar is an even match for the Space Wolves? I'm mostly an Orc player, and I even kind of feel as if Space Wolf players are getting a bit of the short stick. Let me put it to you this way. If there was a who would win between Gaskell and Ragnar, I'd be putting my money on the greenskin. Almost feels as though a wolf is going up against a knight. Rick Tydoy. They should have at least added some Fenrisian wolves or one more model in there. Why didn't they add more stuff in there? They could have put berserkers in there. No, that's going a little bit too far. No, this actually reminds me of the time that a bunch of new Chaos stuff. I keep on going back to the Chaos because that's what we're doing here. And it was back in the day when the Mauler Fiend, Forge Fiend, Helldrake, all those models were new. And it was like, whoa, look at all this new Chaos stuff coming out. I kind of feel as though right now a lot of people feel the same way about Space Wolves. They're expecting all this new stuff that they're not getting because they're seeing this box set and it's like, come on, give me, I want more. Now, historically in the past, when this has happened, there are typically other releases that follow, and more new models will be coming. And that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if new models still continue to come out after this release. I don't mean to be Shatner right now, it's just coming out that way. Phantom Ronin, Skyclaws, yay or nay? As much as I want to say yay, I'm gonna say nay, because I haven't fielded them in yay years. I mean nay years, I mean none years, I mean, I don't like them. They suck. Yeah, I might be more of a Grey Hunter slash Wolfen kind of guy. You know, the close combatness, not the jump in and they get shot because you're not as good as everyone else-ness. Ira Nap. Dave, 10 attacks. Strength 6 at damage 2 seems like a nerf to me. If you worked at GW, what would you have done to power up the Ragnar Blackmane beefcake? This is a very interesting one because if you look at the stats of his old versus his new, he was beefed up quite a bit. For instance, his wounds are no longer 5, they're 6. His attacks are no longer 5, they're 7. Plus, when you get Shock Assault, you're adding 3 to them. Whereas before, it was only when he was performing a heroic intervention. You would get D3 in addition to that. Not to mention Frostfang, which is now +2 strength instead of +1. So, is it a nerf? He is better than before when you compare him to other big things that are coming out, especially when he was standing right beside Gaskell, who is now a monstrous truck of a orky machinery demigod. Of course it's gonna look like a nerf. But compared to himself, he is better now. And I didn't even mention Battle Lust, when you can make things consolidate 6 inches instead of 3 if he's close to you. The Jester. Gretchen armies? How about Gretchen plus Gaskell? I will go for that, because of fun factor. Code of 0. How much better are my Thunderwolves? No. For 1 command point, Crushing Assault, with physiques more akin to Terran rhinoceroids than Terran canines, a Thunderwolf charge is deadly indeed. That's kind of a fun one. It'd be nicer if it was like an automatic ability that you always get, but you do get to cause mortal wounds on the roll of a 2+ for units that are within an inch of you, and you get to do this for every single one of your cavalry that makes it into combat that's within an inch of an enemy unit. Depending on what you're charging, that thing is dead. If you're charging a single character, then on that alone, it might be dead. Other than that, the Thunderwolves are pretty well the same, unless I'm missing something, but I don't think I am. Stephen Jarrett, how do you feel this book will help Space Wolves on the tabletop? Does it make us competitive versus Eldar / Space Marine, etc.? Well, we are no Iron Hands, and you really want to ask if it is as good as the trickery of the Eldar? Well, I don't know if anything is. Nothing sticks out to me that is overwhelmingly competitive about this army. It is more so a flavor army. Let me ask you this. Do you buy a fur coat to stay warm or to look good? Draphammer Orc. What do you think about Gaskell and Makari? Who is the best Ragnar or Gaza? I'm gonna assume that there's a comma there, and if there is, then I would choose Ragnar over the other because that's just me, not necessarily because he's better, because that's what I do with my friends. I choose them over others in faces of death. Blood Wolf Koji, what are your thoughts on the free stratagem that gives Space Wolves +1 command point and can be used for each phase? I'm not going to say no to a gift of chaos. If you're going to give me something and it makes me a little bit better, I will accept it. And right now, anything you give the wolves is good news for the wolves. Cody Orcs, unrelated, but will there be more Blood Ravens Path to Glory once the border shutdown is done? Once the border shutdown is done and the world goes back to normal, then we're gonna have some immersive campaigns. That's what I'm thinking about, not Blood Ravens. But in the spirit of giving, if you really want to be a Blood Raven, you can be. Here at the MiniWarGaming Bunker, once everything opens up again and the world goes back to its normalcy. Why does GW make Primaries Marine so bland? This might be a very unpopular opinion, but I actually think that they're not bland. I mean, I understand why they're doing it, and I know there's always going to be purists that exist out there, but at the end of the day, we're getting new models, and these models have new abilities. I just wish the same thing could be done for Chaos! Why can't we have our, we as in Chaos, have our own Primaris equivalent of stuffs? Why can't Fabius Bile just go around and inject everything with a whole bunch of strengths and a whole bunch of new stuff, and then we get it, and we get to enjoy his creation? Look at that, I got the Poxwalker virus already. Michael Miguel, nothing about orcs, eh? There is inadvertently a lot of talk about orcs in this video. You just need to be listening more carefully. Plague of Wasps. Will there be a wolf-themed Wolfmen Psychers with wolf skin accessories and new wolf powers? What kind of wolf imagery can we expect? The Space Wolves need more wolf. From your question, I did extrapolate some sort of substance there, and I will say this, that there is more psychic stuff that you have access to. Namely, the obscuration, but that's not necessarily new. That's just something that you have now. Proven 22X. Do Space Wolves prefer boxers or briefs? Boxers, of course. They don't like wearing briefs. They don't like to wear something that was made out of their cousin. Gilbert Bowers. What I want to know is why Games Workshop is basically getting rid of the Norse feel that the Space Wolves have. I love the lore behind the Space Wolves because of their Norse feel. All these new add-ons to the Space Wolves, it just feels like it's killing the Norse feel. I wonder what wouldn't kill the Norse feel. I'm not really here to attack nor defend. I'm just saying, are they really losing it? Are they really? I am challenging what you're saying, not because I disagree, because I want to understand what you're saying. They still have their Jarls and Gnarls and characters and things. They still got the runics and tunics and punics and things. Really what I think is happening is that they're being modernized and upgraded to keep up with all of the other Iron Hands out there. I mean, all the other Space Marines out there that are good. Metmabo 2. Do you think Ragnar could stand up to Gaskell in battle? Gaskell takes 3 phases to die. Ragnar would be killed in one swipe of Gaskell Claw. Tragus. If the power of 6 translates to 20 points per power point, as seems the normal conversion, 120 points seems very cheap. Fair enough, he is a melee character, but at beast in melee with a plausible 10 attacks, he still seems cheap. Also, should he have been boxed with Blood Claws and not Primaris Marines? That would actually make sense. I wonder why he wasn't. Maybe it's because they had a whole bunch of armor they needed to sell, namely Phobos. It's kind of like computers. They have so many supercomputers right now, but they're not going to sell them because they got to sell all their old stock first. That's probably what's happening right now. DQBed. Why is he commenting on a faction he's only played twice in 8th edition? Well, excuse me for not having played them much in this edition. I wish I had more time to do it. I guess I don't. I guess there's too much chaos to play. What is the actual appropriate response here? I mean, we can go sarcastic, we can go salty, we can go honest. Let's go with the honest one. Because chaos exists, and that takes up most of time. What about an army I don't play? Should I not have an opinion about it because I don't play them? What about an army that I hate? I think I should have an even bigger opinion about them. What if I did a video about the Tau? I don't play them, nor do I like playing them, but I hate them. I'm going to make a video about the Tau, saying why and how much I hate them. This has nothing to do with your question. I just made an excuse to tell you how much I hate the Tau. Chong Niang Chia. Do you think the new Ragnar may be the best Primaris character in terms of dueling or blending hordes? Character compared to the likes of Shrike, Calgar, Akaton, Torgaradon, and the Iron Hands guys? I could be wrong, but he might have a bigger number of attack fixed at 2 damage than most of them on the charge. You know, I mentioned this before, and I think the best thing that we can do here is just compare him to himself before. That being said, it does inspire me to want to do a series of who would wins when characters are fighting other characters. And I would probably do it within an approximated points cost each. not going to have Abaddon fight Ragnar. That wouldn't necessarily be a fair fight. I think Abaddon would win there. Same goes for Gaskell and Abaddon. I think Gaskell would kick his butt. Chitrail. Honestly, I'd much preferred getting an Orcs versus Space Wolves box without Ragnar and Gaskell, like actually Space Wolf upgrades for the Vanguard troops plus Vanguard troops, and then maybe a Primaris Rune Priest versus Orcs. Ragnar and Gaskell should be sold separately. What do you think? I actually think that's a very good idea, and I believe that would probably sell more minis, ironically. The Yggdrasil tree. How long do you think before GW begins to pump out Primaris Wolfen? I don't think they can realistically get away with not having the unique traits of each chapter flow over into the Primaris line. Maybe Fabius Bile or the 20th Legion are working on things to corrupt the gene seed of Primaris. I actually think that would be pretty neat. And speaking of Fabius Bile, come on, give us the Chaos models. Just don't hold back. Give it to us. That's what we really want. Raymond Van Dien Tweel. Are there any rules in the Space Wolves Psychic Awakening that allow Primaris units and or characters on Thunderbolt mounts? Or is that, for now, still only a cool conversion idea? Hate to disappoint you, man, but either case, it makes for a very cool conversion idea, no matter what you do. Nathan Jones. If a Primaris wolf could wolf, how many wolves could he wolf? Joking aside, what do you think about Ragnar's new stats/abilities? Not to give the answer I already gave before, but I think he's better, not just because I think so, but because he actually is better than before. Compared to himself, he is better. So, if every single character in the 40k universe did this, just think about this for a second. If everyone did this, everyone got a little bit better, then the world would be a very different place. Can you imagine if Karn came out in a box set and he had better stats and he came with a bunch of Primaris Berserkers? I think that would be a box set that I would get. Now, sadly for us, Primaris isn't a thing in Chaos, so maybe Fabius Bile has to work a little faster at making this happen. Alessandro Fantoni. Hello MWG team and hello Dave. Do the Phobos Marine and Primaris in general fit better now with the Space Wolves rules? Are there specific stratagems for Primaris in the Psychic Awakening book? Thanks in advance and keep up the great work. You notice how I said great even though he put good there? It's because I saw great in my mind. Gene Rot Might, Veteran Intercessors, but those aren't specifically Space Wolves, so it doesn't look like there's anything here that I can see that's specifically Space Wolf Intercessor. Mike M. Will this book make using non-Primaris Marines viable? While considering that the vast majority of the new units included in this book are Primaris in nature, I'm gonna say no. Viable to win? No. Viable for fun factor? Yes, because that is always the case. Jacob Anthony. Do you think they will add any deeper elements to make our Space Wolf characters or even squads feel more heroic? Like tank aces for guard, or the unique systems and adaptations of Tau and Tyranids? To answer your question, it's really nothing out of the ordinary when it comes to things that you wouldn't normally get if you were a Space Marine army. In this case, we're talking about the litanies of battle that you specifically get when you're Space Wolves. They are unique to them, and so that could be something that you're looking for. But other than that, it's really nothing out of the ordinary. Peter Coleman. It should have been Yarick? What should have been Yarick? You should have been Yarick? Maybe I should have been Yarick. Either way, the name sounds weird now. I said it too much. Sean Herrick. Ironically, last name kind of sounds like Yarick. How many tennis balls are required to effectively distract the Space Wolf player? I'm going to go with Will Hunt. Do you think Primaris Space Wolves will develop more diverse Space Marine lists? I think the Space Wolves will focus on the close combat goodness that they are known for, and always have been known for. Mark Piori. Thunderwolves or Wolfen? Who was the winner for enhancements in this book? The answer is Primaris! But in all seriousness, it would have to be the Thunderwolves because they actually got a stratagem. I didn't see anything, Wolfen. Dan Coley. Are they finally going to feel like the ferocious savage fighters they should? No. They're gonna feel like the Primaris Marines that they are. I hate to break it to you, but that is the direction that they're going. There's nothing that I can say or do that can stop that. Andrew Clive Early. Will you be wearing an Eskimo outfit at this year, and do you prefer parrots or cobras? No to Eskimo suit, yes to cobras. Chuck Kelly. What are possible counters for Ragnar? Seems kind of overpowered. Snipers! James Smith. Are you actually Ragnar Blackmane?
Oh yes, indeed I am. I was born to the Thunderfist tribe in the far reaches of Fenris. As a child, I ran with youngsters twice my age. I was discovered by the wolf priests and chosen for ascension. I roamed alone in the wilderness during my punishing trials. I was hunted in turn by one of the black-maned wolves, as dark and terrible as any night demon. Though I was many times my size, I killed the beast with my bare hands. Burning with exhaustion, I hauled the carcass of this great beast to the fang. This deed was seen by the wolf priests as a good omen. From that day forward, I took the Blackmane as my totem and namesake,
forever cementing my place in the legends of the Sky Warriors. And due to my animal charisma, I have 2 wolf pets,
which accompany me to battle wherever I go.
Blazage Hedgeduck? Most important, are you disappointed or not? If yes, why? Let's talk about the pros and cons. I'm excited that there's new stuff. I like that they're being updated. I like that there are Primaris. I actually enjoy that. I like seeing the new goodies, the stratagems, and the relics, and all of that stuff as well. So I am happy about that. The thing I am disappointed by is the lack of new units, of Space Wolf specific units. I was hoping for that. That I didn't get. That being said, I don't know what the future holds, and I never give up hope for more coolness in the future. Kinda like the new Berserkers that are coming out in the new Khorne Codex, which is... Lamb Heinen. Whether it be +2 charge, or double move plus charge, or melee rush, well, the only thing I'm seeing here is the Litany of Battle Canticle of Hate with the adding 2 to the charge rolls, made for Space Wolf unit. Eric Ukemi Dani. Will there be a lot of ow? You better believe it. Thank you very much, Wargamers, for tuning into this episode of Ask the Wargamer. Please leave your comments and questions for next video, where I'll be responding to them as well. The next video, I'll be talking about some new Chaos stuff, whenever it comes out. Or maybe Blood Angel stuff. Just leave a comment. I'm gonna respond to it.
I can't. Come on, Steve, do something. Do something, don't go.
I'm not gonna howl. I'll make it for you guys.
sickly wolf in the back.
I'll make it, but I'm not howling, alright? 3 to wound. Okay, we got 4. Mordecai's gonna fire first. He's gonna spend 2 command points for Mordaka. And we're putting everything at your repulsor. Except for the twin big shooters, they might as well go after the 3 lonely guys in the room. 12 shots, hitting on 4s because we have the bonus up.
Job.
But every 5 plus is another shot. So we got, oh, there's a 3 in there.
Yep.
One more hit. I'll run the first unit of Grots. Nice note there. And the second unit of Grots right behind them will also run. 2, 4, 10. You guys go ahead and die. Alright, I'm just gonna go here. I don't know what I want to shoot at yet.
The rest of the detachment will have 5 aggressors with full storm gauntlets. They will be riding in a repulsor with twin heavy bolter, double onslaughts. We have a storm bolter on the back. We have a stubber on the front. We have, I believe, a few storm frag assault launchers on there as well. It's kind of little repulsor kit as the team. We're going to be running with 8 Wolfen as well because of points. I always like to bring these guys just because I like their damage output in close combat. I usually run 2 squads of 5 or more. I just did not have anywhere near the points to do that. So they're usually the last thing I kind of add to the list, and they fill out the rest of my points. I'm going to be running with 3 Storm Shield, Thunderhammer, Wolfen, and we're going to have 4 in the back with the great action. The pack leader, of course, has to have his Paragon.
Sorry, it's called Tale of the Wolf King and Lord of the Deep, not Saga of the Wolf Lord, King of the Deep. I got a few words mixed up there.
But yeah, +1 damage against, in this case, vehicles.
Oh, Gaskell's a monster now too, so that will help out in this regard.
We're gonna keep running weird boys. We're gonna go over here. And actually, what's the objective range? Is it 3 or 6?
3.
We'll stay on it. I don't think I would need second power range, just in case. We'll run the next one. Oh, he's a little slow.
And we have the duck.
I don't know. We have a lot of detachments here. The first one here is a battalion with 3 units of Grots. We also have a big mech with custom force field back in the new book.
Yeah, back, baby.
Yeah, and 1 weird boy.
Comparative to the Blood Angel trait, I think it's called Savage Echoes, where they just get a flat-out extra attack when they charge. This one could spike higher, this one could spike less. Unpredictable, as is the Space